This is the Sunshine Cathedral Perspective. Mormon founds Dragon Dads group for religious parents proud of their LGBTQ+ kids. When Jacob Ahu's son John was 13, he told his parents he was gay. Abahu and his wife Meg felt speechless. They were members of the Church of Jesus Christ of the Latter-day Saints, and they worried how their community would react to John. While Abahu urged his son to wait to come out, John felt he needed to be true to himself. Watching his son come out and feeling shunned by his religious community as he supported him became the motivation for Abahu to create a private support group on Facebook, Dragon Dads. At least 110 dads who come from conservative religious backgrounds and have LGBTQ+ children share their experiences. The group is private to protect members from harassment, but most participants are open about their experiences with their children. The group provides a safe place for them to talk about how their love for their children clashes with their religious backgrounds. But with Dragon Dads, Abahu had friends to help him process his feelings and gave him the feeling of belonging he lost when he left the Mormon Church. Since starting Dragon Dads, he and some of the other members even march in pride parades. While his son John has graduated and started working, Abahu continues to be involved with the group to provide guidance to others. Yay! I love this.
Yes.
I love a feel-good story.
Yes.
And to Abahu and to his family and to all the Dragon Dads, I say yay. Fabulous. Well done, you.
Yes, indeed.
It's like a Sunshine Cathedral story. We have to remind people that they are God's miracle, not God's mistake. You have to be reminded that you have sacred value. And this man, his family, and the Dragon Dads have done that. And go and march in some pride parades. I love it.
Yeah, I love that. And I love that it's the dad.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, often it's mom or grandma. It's you don't hear about the dad as much. So that this is a dad is great. And so this is a beautiful story. How can we encourage more dads to be loving? Like apparently the dad was a little afraid. Like, people can be mean to my kids, so why don't you wait a little bit on coming out? He didn't say, "Oh, you're bad."
No, he did.
Or you shouldn't be. He's like, let's keep this at home for a minute.
For his child
and
safety, sure.
But then when the kid's like, no, I've got to be me. Okay, let that happen.
I'm with
And now he's in the parades and starting the dads and all of that. So that's just what a dad should be.
Yep.
How can we encourage more people to do that? And I think one of the ways is, it seems like it's a little thing, but sometimes a little thing is all you have available to you. Is that we have kids here, and they come and go in waves because they grow up and move on.
Right. Yeah.
And then we won't have me for a while, and then we have kids again. And I make it a point to affirm them individually. I make it a point to tell them, hopefully their parents are telling their grandparents, maybe the whole world, maybe their teachers, but I know for sure one person is. Right. And I will just walk up to someone in the social hall and say, "You're a good person." One of them a few weeks ago, he was a 13-year-old kid, and I said, "You're a good person." He said, "You are too." I love that so much. So no, because hopefully dads are doing it. We can encourage dads to do it, but let's don't assume dads are doing it. We can be the tribal dads, the community dads, and moms and grannies and aunts that just remind them, you're okay. I like you. You're a good person.
And I want to say to the dad and to the mom, to the family, and any other parents out there who has a child that goes through something like this, if your church shuns you, your church is telling you who they are.
Oh, yeah.
And you need to find another church or another faith community. Don't go back to that church and ask them for their permission to be a part of the tribe or to be a part of the community. The church has told you who they are.
Yes.
And the love for your child, the love for yourself, the coming out process is way more important than trying to find that church that will continue to shun you and make you feel ashamed for loving your child the way your child is. So I'm going to say to anyone who has that issue, find that loving community, find that support system, find another spiritual community, but don't stick there. That's not worth your time, worth your energy, and it will do more spiritual harm to you and your family than anything else will. Run. If they shun, run.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
We had in our service recently, and they perform every once in a while, did a reading, and they've done it before. And as a drag persona.
Yes.
And amazing. And did it. But this time their mother came from North Carolina.
Yes.
And then the preacher was a family friend, lifelong family friend, a guest preacher. And so the guest preacher told their story. And it was just not a dry eye in the house. And then Robert introduced the mother to the congregation and said, because she has 2 gay kids, and apparently she just accepted them from day one, in the Bible Belt, in the rural South, but she's like my kids, you know, and she's been there from day one. She travels from North Carolina to hear one do a reading in church. You know what I mean? And so Robert said, not everyone had this mom.
Right.
Yeah.
And so if you didn't get this mom, we want to thank you because you're our mom today. Oh, she cried, they cried. It shouldn't be such a touching moment when someone just shows that they're a loving person and a good parent. That shouldn't just take the air out of the room, but it is so rare.
We know.
It is so rare. And so, don't let someone take your love away. Don't let someone keep you from being a loving parent or a loving friend or a loving sibling because their invisible God doesn't like it. Never trust the invisible God over the person in front of you whose life could depend on your love.
Right.
If God isn't in that, I'm not seeing any God.
And the panel said, amen.
All right. Next up, we are excited to tell you about our next adventure with our Global Fellowship. In 2024, we'll be going to where the hills are alive as we explore Austria and Alpine Europe for Gay Oktoberfest. Space is extremely limited, so make sure to go to happeningout.travel/sunshine to reserve your space now.
Would you like to join the Queer God Squad on a special winter cruise in 2024? Well, now you can. You will visit Cozumel, Mexico, Grand Cayman, and Ocho Rios, and you can even add an open bar and Wi-Fi. Join us by going to happeningout.travel/sunshine.